What is this? Republicans need to stop being shy about appealing directly to white men. Oh, do they now? They've been shy about it up until this point. Kamala Harris becomes the prospective presidential candidate. DEI, 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 woman, she, DEI, woman, suck. I wasn't aware of the fact that they were holding back on their preferential politics up until this point, you know? As your lawyer, keep posting. Top comment from Groip Gang America First. Matt is right. When you gonna ditch that Jewish boss of yours, Matt? Join in with Nick or that's interesting. So sort of literally every comment is a Nick Fuentes fan to begin with. Really makes you wonder what type of group this appeals to.
Women are being supposedly treated so badly during this election. No, it's going to be white men who are demonized and scapegoated, like it always is. Okay, it's always white men.
All right, I take it back. I don't care about listening to the whining anymore. It's so pathetic, dude. They, again, like, the fascist can never just make their fucking point. They can never just say what they want. It has to be buried under an ocean of grievance politics. Professional victim. It's genuine. Like, don't they get tired of it? I guess Matt doesn't because he makes money off of it, but like, whatever. Jesus. Nikki Bugs, is it you or is somebody else continuously telling me to cover this specific story? I guess you just link a lot of stuff. People do keep bringing it up. We saw that, Comrade Robin Hood. Even Shapiro's regretting the JD Vance pick. I wonder if that's one of those, like, of course he does, or like, obviously, or maybe it's unexpected. I don't know. Shapiro is so out of the limelight now that Nazism is kind of the cloth of the current Republican rhetoric and messaging strategy, you know? There's not as much room for middle-of-the-road, milquetoast centrist fascism, which Ben Shapiro has been so happily offering for years now.
Speaking of errors that Republicans are going to have to avoid. So, JD Vance is the vice presidential nominee for President Trump. Now, if he had a time machine, if you go back 2 weeks, would he have picked JD Vance again? I doubt it. I think he probably would have picked somebody like Glenn Youngkin from Virginia in an attempt to broaden out his base. Instead, he went with JD Vance, feeling, because he was right, that at the time he had a very solid advantage in the race against Joe Biden. Well, again, JD is super smart. He also has a long history of public commentary. So back in 2021, this is the sort of hot controversy of the day.
Hey, wait, really quick question, by the way. Has Ben Shapiro ever said anything pedo-y? And I don't mean like a mildly sussy, oh, that looks bad out of context thing. I mean like the kind of shit Matt Walsh did. No? I don't think so. He's going to be vindicated by history, you know? Like when people in the future are combing over this era of Republican politics, he genuinely is like, and it's crazy because he's a fascist, man. He's like an out and about fascist. He would oversee the camps that they'd put you in, you know? He doesn't give a shit. But like, in comparison, he's like the one f***ing guy. He defended Russell Brand for grooming a 16-year-old. Okay, I'll file that under like politics of convenience, like shared, like being on the same side, not like him ideologically defending the practice or whatever. He'll get rehabilitated by idiot corporate Dems in 20 years. Yeah, he's going to be the next Mitt Romney or John McCain or whatever. Talked about it earlier, this movie talk.
From the Democrats. Back in 2021, JD Vance was appearing on Tucker Carlson's show back when Tucker's show was on Fox. And he ripped into what he called the childless cat lady culture of the Democrats, including Kamala Harris.
What I was basically saying is that we're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs.
Just going to use this as an example because it's really like cut and dry right next to each other. Please, God, if you're wearing a business suit and a dress shirt, wear a tie. Look at how much better Tucker Carlson looks here. Like, the difference is night and day. Nothing, there's no like cohesion aesthetically to wearing a white dress shirt and a business jacket and then like just wearing that shit open with no tie. It just looks bad. It really doesn't look, it looks bad and you're ridiculous. No difference to me. How can you, okay, whatever. You don't actually believe that. You're just being contrarian.
bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it?
Now, I agree that our country has moved away from caring about the future because too few Americans care about having children. I totally agree with that. However, this description that J.D. Vance is using, is that politically smart or is it politically damaging? Now, again, he doesn't have a time machine. He can't go back and undo something he said now 3.5 years ago. With that said, Democrats are, of course, using this as a club with which to beat Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. They're trying to run up the gender gap. So,
I mean, he's correct. Ben Shapiro's correct here. I want him to say it too, because the kinds of people who might be disillusioned through Ben Shapiro, the kind of Republican who listens to Ben Shapiro is the kind of Republican who's more likely to be kind of numbed and pulled away from the MAGA crowd. You know, it's not like Ben Shapiro reps the most hardcore Republican electorate base. You know, he's not necessarily reachable in moving them over to the Democrats, but more in the, like, you know, somebody who cares about respectability politics sort of thing. Do you like Ben's fit here? T-shirt under sports coat? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a t-shirt under a sports coat. I think it's kind of a boring color combination. I think a graphic tee might look better depending on, like, you know, the variety of factors, but sure, it's not a business jacket. It's a casual suit jacket. Yeah, I don't like the millennial beige, I gotta say. What about his dyed eyebrows? Well, he's always had very powerful eyebrows.
one of the things to understand about this election cycle is that the gender gap is larger than it has ever been in the history of American politics in all likelihood. Males overwhelmingly vote for Trump. Females, particularly single females, overwhelmingly vote for Biden. And so they're going to try to find some sort of wedge to claim that all Republicans are sexist. And this is the wedge they're using today. Speaking of
a pretty warranted wedge, I have to say, you know?